Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat and I'm going to share with you a week of workouts. I was previously showing about 3 days, but I'm like, I think a week condensed might be a little bit better. But I would love your opinion on this. If you have been with me in the past, that sounded really dirty. I didn't mean it that way, but let me know your opinions about it because I take your feedback very, I cherish it, so thank you. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started. First workout after my warm-up, I started out with these 40-pound goblet squats, and you'll notice I've been continuing to stay down low in the steep squat with each rep. And once again, this is training my body to kind of feel like, hey, we're safe in this position. It's okay to open up our hips. I superset that with some TRX single arm rows, really focusing on pulling back and down so my trap isn't as involved. And I did 3 sets of those movements, but in between, I always make sure to stretch or to do some type of mobility. And I did a shoulder and chest stretch here, as you see. I'm really focusing on pressing into the beam and then sinking down a little bit more to get even more into that chest shoulder region. I also use the slant board here to focus on my calves and making sure that they stay nice and loosey-goosey and mobile so I can get into movements like pistol squats. And then after that, I went into some pistol squats, and this is definitely the best they've ever felt. I was able to get 20 reps total, so 10 on each leg alternating. And I was just so jazzed with this because I did this 3 times. Obviously the second and third rounds were much more challenging, but to be able to do these and feel like decently stable, even though I know that I'm reaching forward quite a bit and my back is rounded, these are still the best that they've ever felt. So I'm very happy with this progress. I superset that with a 50-second hollow hold, really focusing on bringing my arms back farther than usual, keeping my feet as close to the ground as possible while also not touching it. So this is trying to help my handstand a bit more. After 3 sets of those movements, I went into some single leg hip thrusts. Once again, I have an imbalance in my glutes and my left one is a bit weaker. So I always try to consciously make sure that I start with my weaker side when I get into this movement. So as you can see, I did my left side first. I did 12 reps each with a 50-pound dumbbell. And I finished off with this movement on the Smith machine. I add a 10-pound plate here, and I use this to really get into my trap. And you don't have to add weight to it to feel it, but you can see that I'm moving my hand to adjust the bar. It kind of acts as like a roller. So this is awesome to help release my traps. Next workout, I got into some prep for handstand, and I did 3 sets of these. These are the compression taps, and I did 20 of these total. They're feeling pretty good. I'm very, very happy with that. I know I have a bit to go before I can actually obviously pop up into a handstand, but even from this position is absolutely wild to me that people can do that, because I really, really have to work on my compression, which is really fascinating to me, and I love to be able to challenge myself in this way, and I feel it so much in my mid-back when I do these, which is cool. As usual, I did some wall slides, and they've been feeling a little bit more open than before, and I know that it looks like, wow, she's got a long way to go before she can get her hands to the wall. True, but this is an improvement. And then Tyler showed me this awesome movement to help to open up my shoulders and my back. He also was restricted in these areas. So he showed me that if you go up against the wall and you sink down in a squat, as soon as your hands touch the wall, you lift them up, stay in that squat position. And then once you are able to get those hands off the wall, sink a little bit lower and do the same thing. Then hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. So I did quite a few sets of these, and it was fascinating to me because I felt like I could breathe way better and more clear. And that's something I've really been working on lately, is just my overall posture, not only in my workouts, but outside of my workouts, when I'm taking a walk, when I'm training clients. I'm really focusing on trying to tuck in my rib cage and bringing my neck back. And it's wildly uncomfortable. I feel it so much in my chest area. And When I do this though, I find that it's like I'm putting on an oxygen mask and I can breathe way better. And that to me is a signal, okay, this is the posture I'm supposed to be in. And it's gotten so much so in my brain that when I am half awake, when I am sleeping, when I'm in bed, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll try to find alignment, and I can breathe better while laying down. It's so nerdy but fun. And yeah, it's something I'm becoming more and more aware of in just daily life activities. So I found that to be super cool. The more that I learn, the more that I'm gonna try to share with you guys so you can also feel that. And yeah, really, really exciting. Then I went into a few sets of handstands and they didn't go great, but you know what? That's okay. This workout was quick because we had our flow group come. So I did a quick ab circuit of the 20 reverse crunches as usual, 20 small crunches, and then 20 alternating dead bugs, and also 20 bird dogs. I did this 2 times through. Our flow group came and we mainly played with ropes on this day and Nerf guns. Next workout, I started out by working on that posture and really focusing on tucking it in my rib cage. And then I added in these arm rotations to open up my shoulders. And you can see there's quite a bit of restriction there in my shoulders. So I'm trying to really focus on keeping that rib cage nice and tucked in as I reach up, and also tiny bit back as much as possible. Yeah, this is, you can tell there's just a lot of restriction here. So that's something I am continuously working on in and out of my workouts. I have decades of tightness there, so I am trying to unlock that. I did the squat, wall, reach, slide, things that Tyler taught me. Once again, I could breathe better after, even though it is a very intense movement, but I continue to do those and I really enjoy them. Next, I realized that I have never tried a tuck planche while just on floor rather than using parallettes. And it didn't go great, but I got my feet off the ground and I was actually really excited about that. I know it's not a lot, but I was happy with this. I attempted these 5 times. And again, even though I didn't get very far and lift my feet up too high, I was still really happy with this. In between tuck planche attempts, I did some V-sit attempts as well. I didn't get into my very best V-sits, but that's okay. Not all days are going to be incredible. Then I did add some balance work on the beam as well, and this was super fun. But I thought to myself, what could make balance work more fun today? And I thought, I should go blindfolded. So that's exactly what I did. I went ahead and I got one of Justin's bandanas for Hero Fit, and I did some blindfolded balance work. And this was so fun, especially with music, because you really hear the music more intensely and you have to focus on your breath so much more while also being aware of your body even more, because even the littlest adjustments make all the difference, especially with keeping your chest up and where your hand placement is. This makes so much difference when you're doing this. So after that, I thought, you know what could be even more fun? If we did blindfolded bow staff work. So that's exactly what I did. I did this 3 times. Each time was probably for about, I would say 7 to 10 minutes. It is filmed vertically because I did want to make this into an Instagram post, which I did, as well as a YouTube short. So please excuse that this is in vertical. To finish off with abs, I did this reverse table into an ab hold, but then I'm like, how can I make this even crazier? Oh, I'll pop up into an L sit. So I did that for 12 reps 3 times. Next day, I did take a rest day, so I went for a walk at the nature center in the forest area, and that was so wonderful. It was exactly what my mind, my body, and my soul needed. I take about 1 to 2 rest days each week, depending on how my body and my mind are feeling, and I really just tune into like asking myself, okay, what do I need today? What kind of movement do I need today? What kind of food do I need today? So it's just something that I have done, and I find it to be the most balanced way for me. I'm the happiest, my body's the happiest and healthiest, and I'm not overworking it or anything like that. So it's something that works for me, and maybe it's something that works for you. Next day, I started out with that tuck planche on the floor again, and it went about the same. So then I decided to do the next 2 sets with the floor taps instead. So I did 20 floor taps total and 3 sets of the tuck planche. Then I felt like doing some kettlebell work because it sounded fun. So I grabbed a 35-pound kettlebell and I did these single leg deadlifts. I decided to keep the kettlebell in the same side, just as a different challenge. Sometimes I'll have it in the other hand. It kind of just depends on what I feel like doing. But I did 12 reps each side. This is a way different experience, I will say, going with just socks rather than with shoes on, because the stability element is crazy and you're just incorporating so many more muscles in your foot to stabilize that you can feel your just stabilizers cramping up way faster. So definitely a different experience. So if you want to make these more challenging, I recommend to go barefoot or with socks. Then I did these horizontal ring rows, and with looking at the footage from this first set, I wasn't happy with the angle of my body. I felt like my butt, my hips were way too high, which made the movement much easier. So for the second and the third set, I made sure to really focus on keeping my hips lower, and it was definitely more challenging, let me tell you that. I wasn't able to get as many reps as that first set, but I was way happier with this challenge. Then I did alternating TRX Cossack squats, using the TRX to help me because I cannot do these yet without it. Then I grabbed a 45-pound kettlebell and I did 20 swings, and I superset that with this 26-pound kettlebell, and I did a gunslinger into a press. And this was quite the challenge for my shoulder stability. I did both of those 3 times. Then I finished out with an ab circuit, as usual, the 20 reverse crunches. Then for my obliques, I decided to get the dip station, and I did these oblique raises, making sure I'm nice and controlled and I'm not swinging, and I did 20 reps total there. Then I did 12 Superman pulls, and then I ended my ab circuit with doing 3 sets of V-sits. And for funsies, I played with my fans at the end, which makes me so happy and feel free and just have fun. This leads us to yesterday's workout, and I was feeling like I just needed to play. I didn't feel like doing anything intense, and checking in with my body, I knew it was the right choice. So I brought my hoop, and I decided to finally get to doing the course that I found on Udemy. And I had bought this months and months ago, and I was really excited to finally get at it. So I practiced 4 of the movements, and I actually already knew these movements. However, I think it's so important to be the student 95% of the time in life. Obviously, if you are a teacher, it's a little bit different, but I think it's really important because watching the video and the tutorials on this course, it's so nice because you never know what new cue you might learn for either you or for when you want to teach other people. And you never know if there's a different way of doing things that you weren't doing that's better. And it also was such a nice refresher because it's been a long time since I've done hooping. So it was really cool. And also the fact that I am not as strong on my left side, especially with just waist hooping. I can't do my left rotating to the left yet. And that's just such a cool thing to remember. So I do have my bigger and heavier hoops here at home that I'm gonna practice with doing some of those tricks. Cause even I have, my shoulder restriction is so relevant, and you could definitely tell in some of these movements how it restricts me. So it's cool to find that out while doing flow. I had so much fun though, and something that just made me really, really happy is that this is one of our members, Summit, and he would do my classes when I was still teaching them. Always great energy. And he just came up to me and said that I'm his idol. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, like, with the way that I do movements and how he thinks it's just so good and healthy for our bodies with the way that I do these things, like the ground flow and bow staff and stuff. He's like, I want to learn. And that just made me so happy. So I had been thinking for a while to do a workshop, and I think I told him, I'm like, all right, that was the last thing I needed to hear. I'm gonna make this workshop for people so they can learn these movements too, because I really do truly believe like the ground flow and the use of the flow tools and stuff, it's so valuable and healthy for our bodies. And you know, most people are exposed to just dumbbells or barbells, like a lot of bodybuilding type of movements, but there's so many ways to move that are really just like wonderful for our minds and our souls and healthy. And I'm not like, bodybuilding's terrible, don't do it. But I do think with a lot of the movements, it's important to remind ourselves like, some of those aren't as functional as they could be, kind of thing. Aesthetically, great, but functional-wise, some of them not as valuable as other movements, I would say. That leads us to today's workout. I started out with handstands after warming up, and they didn't go super great. I'm not seeing like a ton of progress, unfortunately, and I'm getting a bit discouraged, to be honest. Like, with all the back opening and shoulder opening and lat off and all that stuff, I feel like I should be farther, but then I have to catch my vocabulary and be like, should. And all that's like, catch it and be like, should I be? It's fine. Like, some movements are gonna be more challenging to obtain. You know, someone's gonna be like, you can do typewriters and like 90-pound pull-ups. Like, that's crazy. And then for me, I'm like, I can't even do a handstand. And that always surprises people. But like, I just have quite a bit of alignment issues that I really need to keep hyper focusing on and to not get discouraged by, and to just keep going, because I will look back and be like, I remember it was such a journey, but I'm going to be able to do it in the future. So I just have to keep on going and being smart about it. And also keep doing more deep dives into like why I can't get it yet. I call these single leg sink downs, and these get your glutes so much, which I love for my imbalance. And I did 15 reps of these 3 times. I superset that with some front lever pulls, and these were really challenging. It's been a hot minute since I have practiced these, so I didn't expect too much. First time I didn't use chalk, second time I did, and it felt way better. Then in between sets, I used the box to do a deep squat in, and then you'll see my hands are holding it in front, and I'm focusing on opening up my chest and trying to get my back as straight as possible, head back a little bit. And this, I just feel so much, once again, in that back, especially the mid-back area. Then I went to these compression leg lifts. I did 12 reps of these, and I superset that with these rear delt pulls. I did 20 reps of these, and it's nice because it gets your rear delts, but it also gets your core. And then I finished out with an ab circuit that was 20 reverse crunches, as usual, then these 20 kickouts, which I did alternating, and then 20 bird dog total. This workout today was a little bit shorter because I did go on a walk with my dad who's in town. So yeah, those are my workouts. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you guys picked up some tips, some inspiration. Just remember to just keep going. Like, there are going to be weeks and months where obtaining the skill feels almost impossible, and it's just, you're not seeing the progress that you want. And sometimes it's just gonna take like one cue or one type of mobility movement that will get you there. And it's kind of like, you just have to figure that out and to keep on going, because I always tell people, like, when they see me do a movement that they think is like impressive or whatever, I'm like, you can do it too. Like, there is nothing special about me, is what I am saying. You can do it too if you put the work in, if you put the effort in, and if you put the knowledge in. And right now, I feel like there's a knowledge issue with my handstands, and that's okay because I don't know everything and I'm learning along the way. So I hope you're learning with me. Yeah, I've been going on walks pretty much every evening, and that's just so good for my mental health. And I just feel so much better, and I'm enjoying this warmer weather so much because the winter was harder this year. Let me know if you like these weekly recaps better than the 3 days. I'm kind of just trying to experiment. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you guys so much. And please do like, comment, subscribe. I love seeing that. And yeah, have a great day.